Put your hands up. Get down. Sorry, mister, but I need your horse. Mine give out on me.
Well, you won't get very far with all these lawmen around.
That's why I need a fresh horse. This ought to make it right with you.
Him, all right. Only he's a lot older now. But just like I said, he was toting his gun in his left hand.
Wyoming Dan. He's been out of the territory a good many years.
Wasn't he the outlaw that was known for never shooting anybody?
Yeah, but he's wanted for a lot of other things. Wonder why he came back after all this time.
Kind of sticking his neck out, ain't he?
I'll say he is.
I'm sorry I let him get away, sir.
That's a habit of his. You were riding a bay horse, you say?
That's right, and just like I said, he paid me for it.
Well, that isn't a habit of his. Which way was he heading?
I lost him in Dogleg Pass. He was going north.
Dogleg Pass, eh? Heading north.
How about giving me another chance to bring him in?
No, he might spot you. Better send someone he wouldn't recognize.
I guess you're right, sir.
Looks as if he's moving toward Dry Wells.
Want me to notify the sheriff there?
No, he's still under our jurisdiction. Get a hold of Rocky Lane. I'll put him on the case.
Howdy, Marshal.
Hiya.
Anything I can do for you?
Well, maybe. You see any strangers around here lately?
Well, let's see now. Fella came by here about an hour ago.
Is that so? He wasn't riding a bay horse by any chance, was he?
Yeah, that's right. He was limping, lost a shoe, so I fixed him up with a new one.
Could it be this man here by any chance? Maybe some years older?
Well, now, he could be.
Did he say where he was heading?
No, but he took the road to town.
That's what I told you, you gall-darn blasted. Shut up. Keep him up. Gall-dingin', can't you see he's been hurt? Ah!
Why, you dirty, no good.
mister?
Got hit pretty bad. He's unconscious. What happened?
Who are you? Oh, Marshal, huh? Well, I'm sure glad to see the law around here.
I heard some shots, and then I saw you run away.
Yeah, them gall-darn thieving outlaws held us up. Thought that we was carrying a load of money. Well, they shot Tom here,
You
and then...
better get him to a doctor, fast.
We can take him to my place, the Bar W. It's just down the road here, a couple of miles.
Get going. You go on ahead. I'll see you later.
Right, Marshal?
Hello there. I've been looking for you.
I don't get you, mister.
You will. You know this man? It's a picture of Wyoming Dan. Ever hear of him?
Yeah.
Didn't take you long to get back into operation, did it?
What do you mean?
That shooting down the road.
Mister, I never shot anybody in my life.
Well, there's always a first time, isn't there? Maybe this is yours. Now let's go and see if it was murder. On your horse.
Come in.
How's the boy?
Pretty bad. The doctor's up with him now. Them murdering outlaws. If we could just catch one of them.
Maybe we have. Take a look.
Dan,
Hello, Nugget.
where'd you come from?
I caught him up in the hills near the shooting.
Who was shot?
Tom.
Tommy?
You know him, do you?
Yeah. And he ain't the killer.
How do you know?
But he's Tom's father.
Tom and Jimmy. They were just about this age when I left the territory to get away from the law. It's the last I saw of my boys. Nugget here's been taking care of them ever since.
What brought you here?
Well, you hear things out where I've been.
What kind of things?
How this gang's been working over the ranches around here. They even told me folks are scared to come out of their houses. Then I heard how they shot Tom in the arm. So I figured it was time to come back. Yeah, I know. You think it took me a long time to start acting like a father. Maybe it did. But for almost 20 years since I've been away, I've been waiting and hoping for a chance to do something, anything, to make up for what I'd done. This was my chance to help my boys. So I took it.
Do you think your sons would recognize you now?
No, and I don't want them to. Nugget here's raised Tom and Jimmy to be decent men. Ain't gonna help them none if the folks around here know I'm their father.
Tell me, just how do you figure you could help them?
Well, I ought to know how outlaws work, so I figured...
It's the sheriff and some folks from town.
We don't want to talk to the sheriff just yet.
Get in that room over there.
Get your hat, Wyoming.
Come in.
Hello, Nugget.
Howdy, Sheriff. Mr. Tyler?
We heard about Tom. Yeah. How's he doing?
Well, the doc's with him now. It's kind of touch and go.
How many were there in the holdup?
4. Never did get a good look at them on account of they was wearing masks.
Guess they was after that money you were bringing home from the county seat, huh?
Yeah, they was after it all right, but they didn't get it.
They didn't?
No. The money's coming in tomorrow afternoon by special stage. We left Jimmy over there to bring it.
I guess Jimmy's going to take it pretty hard when he hears about his brother. This is terrible. It's time something was done about these outlaws, Sheriff. The whole community's up in arms over it.
I did all I could, but it wasn't enough.
This makes it murder. Sorry, Nugget.
I'll make the arrangements in town.
Go ahead. Sorry, old timer.
He was like my own son. Him and Jimmy.
You knew this Wyoming Dan pretty well, huh?
Yeah, I used to know him in the old days. Oh, I know he was an outlaw, sort of got off on the wrong foot. But he was always crazy about them boys. Maybe he could help now, if he had the chance.
This money that's coming in tomorrow, what about it?
$50,000. Young Tom arranged it with the bank at the county seat. Oh, of course, the money belongs to the folks in town. It's to help them restock their ranches. Them thieving bandits about bled us dry around here. Young Tom worked it all out by himself. He was an awful good boy. If I could just get my hands on the man that's back of this whole rotten business.
Have you got any idea who it could be?
No, ain't even got a suspicion. But if we don't find him soon, this whole town's going to pieces.
Stay where you are.
Dan, what are you doing?
I'm gonna find a man that killed my son. After that, you can take me back, Lane, but first I'm gonna get him. I told you. Stay where you are.
Why? What are you going to do? Kill me? Me or anybody who gets in your way? That'd make you a murderer, Wyoming. Just as rotten as the man you want to find. What do you think your sons would say to that?
It don't matter. I'm gonna help him.
You won't that way. You said you've been waiting and hoping for 20 long years for a chance to be a real father. Now you got that chance. Don't be a fool. Don't throw it away.
What chance? I'm your prisoner. You're a lawman sent to bring me in.
That's right. I am a lawman. I was sent to bring you in. But now I got a bigger job, finding a killer. I aim to find him, Wyoming. The same as you.
You aren't talking me out of this.
I'm not trying to. If you give me your word you won't try to escape, we'll work together. How about it?
You sure sound convincing, Lane. How do I know this isn't a trick?
You don't know. I'm willing to take your word. Aren't you going to take mine?
Well, this is it. Ain't been used in years.
Ought to do all right.
Still can't figure why you don't bunk at the house.
Like I told you, we want to keep out of sight for the time being, so there can't be any questions asked.
Maybe you're right.
I guess nobody will bother us here.
Well, they shouldn't. You're 2 miles from the road.
Well, that's good. Now, you said you were going to find the man who killed your son. You must have had a pretty good idea of who you'd be looking for.
I have. His name's Lonigan. Used to work with him years ago. I heard he was working in these parts.
What's he look like?
Big fella. Was always kind of heavy-set when I knew him. Had a scar across here.
Do you think he's the top man?
Oh, no. Not smart enough for that. He's just smart enough to pull a trigger, be a killer. If I find out he's the man that killed my son...
Now, remember, we made a bargain. Have you got any idea who he'd be working for?
No?
Guess I better have a talk with this Lonigan tomorrow.
Well, if he's a member of this thieving gang, he won't want to be talking to no deputy marshal.
He won't have to.
And he ain't going to be easy to find.
We'll just let him find us.
Any luck?
Not yet. I've been asking all over town for him. Still got a few more places.
Sure, I'll fix that for you. You can pick it up tomorrow. That's one I'm real proud of.
It's a mighty nice saddle.
If you're interested, I can let you have it reasonable.
No, thanks. I'm not in the market for a saddle right now. I was just looking for somebody.
That's all?
A man named Lonigan.
Lonigan. Name doesn't sound familiar. Friend of yours?
Run away.
Why don't you ask at the saloon? They know most everybody in town.
I did.
Well, I wish I could help you.
Well, if you happen to run into him, tell him I'm looking for him, will you? The name's Rocky Lane.
Sure, Mr. Lane. Be glad to.
Thank you.
Lonigan. Who is he?
I don't know. He's been asking about me all morning.
He could be the law.
They haven't got anything on me around here.
Maybe he's after the guy that killed young Howard.
He can't pin it on me. You shot him and if
What
there's
are you
any trouble...
getting so nervous about?
Well, what is he asking about me for?
I don't know.
Any sign of him yet?
Nope, not yet. But for now, he ought to know I'm looking for him. I'm going to take a little ride. He might want to do his talking private-like.
There he goes. I don't like strangers being curious about you. Particularly with that stage holdup coming out this afternoon. That's a fine-looking saddle he's got. Try not to spoil it.
see you got my message, Lonigan. I kind of figured you'd be following me out here.
What do you want?
An old friend of yours wants to see you.
Who?
He calls himself Wyoming Dan.
I never heard of him.
That's funny. He says you two used to work together.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, let's ride over and see him anyhow. Maybe you can freshen up your memory. Get your horse.
Hello, Lonigan.
Have him put that gun away.
Go ahead.
So you're working around here now.
That's my business.
Used to be mine once, or don't you remember?
What's this all about?
Me and Wyoming just blew in. We aim to join up with your outfit. I reckon your boss could use a couple of good men, couldn't he?
My boss? What do you mean, my boss?
I heard you were working for somebody. You and this gang around here.
And instead of crossing each other, I figured we might be able to work together. We got information about a shipment of money coming into this town. $50,000. We joined up with your outfit. We could split. 50-50.
I'm not interested.
What's the matter, Lonigan? Changed your way of living?
I said I'm not interested. And if you know what's good for you, you'll get out of here. And forget about that money.
Thanks for the advice, Lonigan. We're setting up business here whether your outfit likes it or not. Tell your boss that. Get moving.
What'd you let him go for? We had him right in our hands.
Sometimes you gotta use little fish to catch big ones, Dan. We're after a big one.
But why'd you tell Lonigan about that money?
Don't worry, he knew all about it.
How do you figure?
Well, he wasn't interested. If he was, he'd have tried to get more information out of us.
And we're no better off than when we started.
Maybe we are. We'll hear from him again.
So Wyoming Dan's back after all these years.
Yeah. You sure surprised me.
You surprised me, Lonigan. I thought you could take care of yourself better than that.
I couldn't help it. I'd done everything I could.
Nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
See the outline? That's the way I like things to come out. First you get your pattern, then you work it through just the way you planned. No rough spots, no flaws. Everything according to the pattern. See what I mean, Lonigan?
Yeah? But what's that got to
It's
do
like
with...
my pattern for this town. As soon as I get that money coming in this afternoon, I'll be able to control things just the way I like.
Your pattern won't look so nice if Wyoming and that Lane guy move in on that stage this afternoon.
But they won't, Lonigan. They're going to be very busy around that time. Busy with the sheriff. They'll be very interested to know that Wyoming Dan's around town. They'll keep the sheriff out of our way, and the sheriff will do the same with them. See, Lonigan? It all depends on how you plan your pattern. Johnny! Harry! Come here! So I'm forming a posse right away. Get a move on, will you?
Where you going there, Sheriff?
An outlaw named Wyoming Dan. I got a tip he was seen out at the old Franklin place.
Now, look here, Sheriff. Oh, who told you that?
Oh, I don't know. Somebody left this note in my office.
Maybe it's just a joke.
Nobody jokes about Wyoming Dan.
Oh. I'm going with you.
There may be some shooting, Nugget.
Think I can't take care of myself?
All right, come along. Hey, that's my horse.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
This is it. Have your guns ready. Don't make any noise.
Well, I couldn't help it. I tripped, and the gol darn thing just went off.
A lot of help you are. Stay with the horses.
Sure, Sheriff.
Came from over there. Quite a bunch down in that gully.
Go around and back.
Let's make a break for it.
Back to the horses! Where's the horses?
Them shots must have scared them. They just kind of skittered.
All right, boys, let's start looking for them.
Man, oh man, were they mad. Why, that sheriff could have skinned me alive. Well, after they rounded up the horses, I got fired from the posse.
Nice work, Nugget. You say somebody told him where we were, huh?
Yeah, and they were mighty bashful, too. They just stuck a note under the door, unsigned.
Must have been Allan again. Or his boss. Pretty smart, too. Making sure we wouldn't be around when they go after that money this afternoon.
With the sheriff looking for us over half the countryside, they'd sure have easy pickings.
Not too easy. They're gonna have company. There it is.
That?
Yeah. Hank, what's the matter? Hank! Get that money out fast. Hurry it up. Get rolling!
this is a lot of money for me to be handling. Maybe we ought to let the sheriff take care of this.
Not yet.
Well, where'll I put it?
Yeah? How about that cabinet?
All right. I just hope nothing happens to it, that's all.
Don't worry. Nobody will be looking for it around here.
I don't like this.
You don't like what?
Holding a gun on my own son.
He didn't know who you were, Dan.
Oh, but he's going to. Nugget's going to tell him.
I told you I don't want him to know.
Now, Dan, there's just a chance that he might be able to help us. Besides, he's not a kid anymore. His brother's been killed. He's got a right to know what's going on.
It ain't gonna help him none to know I'm his father.
You're wrong, Dan. I know Jimmy's kind of hot-tempered and all that, but he's still a good kid. Only if he gets some wrong ideas, he's liable to get in your way.
Dan, I know how you feel, but Nugget's got to tell him.
You can take it, Dan. You'll see.
You go on to town, see if you can find him. We'll meet you at the barn.
But the sheriff's already seen you out there.
And that ought to make it the last place he'd look for us. Get going.
Then what happened?
I ain't arguing with no gun, so I hightailed it for town.
This man that stuck his gun in your back, did you get a look at him?
No, I seen him as he jumped off the coach, but he was masked.
Was he packing 2 guns?
That's right, and I think he was riding a satin black horse.
I see. How about you, Jimmy? What'd this other fellow look like?
He was masked, too.
That's all there were, just the 2 of them.
That's all, Sheriff.
Did you notice anything about the man that took the money?
I don't think so, Sheriff, except he seemed older.
His gun, by any chance, did he hold it in his left hand?
That's right, he did.
Wyoming Dan.
Wyoming Dan, who's he?
An outlaw, Jimmy. An outlaw we think killed your brother.
Tom? What's he talking about?
It happened yesterday.
You mean Tom's dead? You say his name's Wyoming Dan?
That's right. And we almost cornered him and that other bandit out at the old Franklin place this morning. But don't worry, Jimmy, we'll get him.
You won't have to.
Jimmy! Jimmy! Jimmy, wait a minute!
They got there ahead of us. Don't ask me how.
You seem to be running short of answers, Lonigan.
I thought the sheriff was after them. How was I to know they got away?
I pay you for results, not excuses.
Wasn't my idea to stick the sheriff onto them. They wanted to join up with us.
Maybe they did and maybe they didn't. The important thing now is that they've got the money. It's up to you to get it back. I do it before the sheriff and that Howard and I'd catch up with him. I need that money to buy up the ranch's notes and control this territory. I want it and I'm going to get it. I don't intend to see my plans destroyed by anyone, Lonigan. By anyone, you understand?
Then he tore out of the place, took my horse, rode off before I could stop him.
Then you didn't tell him about his father?
No, I didn't. How could I? Look, Rocky, with the sheriff and half the town out gunning for you and Dan, don't you think I ought to tell him about the money?
No, sir. You might be telling the wrong people. As long as we got it, we stand a better chance of getting to the head man.
Lonigan could send the sheriff after us.
Yeah, he won't try that again. His boss wants that money, and he knows we got it. I expect another visit from Lonigan himself.
Then we better get out of here.
You'd better. Dan and I are going to stay here and have a talk with Lonigan.
Uh-oh. Maybe that's them now. Out that window. Sit down.
Put up your hands. All right, boys.
been waiting for you, Lonigan.
You'll be sorry you did.
I don't know. You should have come in with us, like I said.
You won't be so cocky when I get through working you over.
That won't get you the money.
Where is it?
Now, you don't think I'd be fool enough to hide it around here, do you?
No. Take a look.
All right, I'll make a deal with you.
Start talking. Where is it?
I said I'd make a deal with you, but I'll do my talking to your boss.
You'll talk to me or else.
Your boss wouldn't like you bringing me back dead. That way I'm worth nothing. Alive, I'm worth $50,000. Now, do we make a deal?
What kind of a deal?
We'll split the money with your boss if we join up with you. Now, can we put our hands down? Partner?
All right. But don't you try no funny business.
When and where do we meet the boss to talk this over?
In town tomorrow morning at sunrise, but nobody can see it.
Where in town?
You'll find out later. Meantime, we're going to take you to a better hideout. Just in case the sheriff and that Howard kid gets nosing around here. Get your horses. That crazy Howard kid. Let's rush him while his gun's empty. Come on!
Gonna do anything but listen to me. There's something you've got to know.
Who are you?
Deputy Marshal. This man here, he didn't kill your brother. He's Wyoming Dan, and your father.
My father.
That's right.
Now where'd they go?
Well, they're around here somewhere.
Hey, there's the horses.
Let's find them. But be careful where you shoot. If anything happens to those two, it'll be my neck.
Now listen to me carefully. Give Nugget Clark this message. tell him to go to town and get the sheriff and meet me at Willow Creek.
Lane!
Remember that?
Yeah.
Lane! Wyoming! Lane!
Roll over. Don't move the muscle.
Lane!
Easy now. Over here, Lonigan. We got him.
What happened?
We like to take care of things ourselves.
Sure he's dead?
Very sure.
We'd better get you to a safe place so no one else can take any pot shots at you. Come on.
What happened?
Hit the leg. It's not bad.
Here, let me help you. Here, sit down there. Oh, sorry if I hurt you, son.
That deputy marshal told me to give you a message.
You mean Lane? What'd he say?
He's going to meet the head man in town, sunrise tomorrow.
Good. I'll tell the sheriff and we'll close in on him.
No, not in town. Too many people around. Might mess things up.
What does he want me to...
He wants you to get the sheriff and a posse and go out to Willow Creek.
Willow Creek?
Yeah, he'll lead them out there.
Now we're getting somewhere. First we'll get you fixed up and then I'll go and tell the sheriff.
Nugget.
Huh?
Is that Wyoming Dan really my father?
Yes, Jimmy. Jimmy, what are you doing out of bed?
I'm all right.
Well, you shouldn't be standing on that leg.
I'm going into town. I want to help.
Oh, no, you're not. You're going to stay right here.
I could sneak in and...
I know how you feel, son. But your father and Rock, he can take care of the saddles all right. Now, you sit there, eat your victuals, and rest your leg. Besides, someone's going to look after that money. I got to go and meet the sheriff and his posse out at Willow Creek.
Morning.
So you're the head of this outfit.
I give the orders.
You seem to be doing right well around here.
Yes, I do all right, Mr. Lane. At least I did until yesterday. Congratulations. I always did admire a smart competitor.
We don't want to compete with you. This is a pretty good-sized town. There ought to be enough around here for all of us. That's why we want to join up with your outfit.
Well, I could use a couple of good men. What's your proposition?
We'll split the $50,000 with you if you cut us in for half of everything from here on in. After you take over this town.
Pretty smart proposition. Only thing is, I'd like to make sure of my $25,000 before we become, shall we say, partners.
That's all right with us. We'll take you out and show you the money anytime you say.
Where is it?
Out at Willow Creek.
Fair enough. No use wasting time. I'll be right with you. Mr. Lane, would you and your friend come here a minute? Put up your hands.
What is this?
Get their guns. So you killed young Jimmy Howard yesterday, did you? Take a look. You know, you almost had me sold. Yeah, you certainly did.
We thought he was dead.
No, Mr. Lane. You're too handy with the gun. I'm afraid I don't believe anything you've told me. I don't know how Jimmy Howard figures in this, but I better finish the job you forgot to do yesterday. Looks like Jimmy had to get the same treatment I gave his brother.
No.
It's too bad.
No,
He's what?
he's my son.
Your son. Now, isn't that interesting? Now we can find out where that money really is. You'd better start talking. Unless I find out where you put that money, he'll never reach that corner alive.
Hold it. It's at Nugget Clark's place.
That's better. Just make sure. Buck, you and Sam keep him coming. Flanagan, you come with me. If Jimmy Howard gets too nosy, take care of him.
Move over to the wall.
Turn their horses loose.
Someone's at the back door. Tie him up.
Here it is, Flanagan. Now let's go back and dissolve our partnership. under that wagon now. Take a look out back.
Too bad there had to be a first time.
I don't like to say goodbye either, but I gave him a word.
All right. I'm ready to go.
Well, before you go anyplace, read this.
It's from the governor.
For your assistance to the forces of law and justice, all past charges against you have been dropped, and you are hereby granted full
Amnesty. It means he's a free man, Nugget.
Thanks, Rocky.
You ought to thank the governor. Well, I guess I better be moving along. So long.
Goodbye, Rocky.
Bye,
Good luck,
Rocky.
Rocky.